Hi everyone, welcome to TE349, Supporting Young Children Through Family and Community Involvement. My name is Tony Miguel and I'm excited to work through this course with you all. So what we're going to be talking about is the importance of family in working with children in the age ranges of birth through age 5, especially working with the families of young children with disabilities. So our first module, we're really going to dive directly into the programs that serve young children in Nebraska for birth through age 5. And we're going to look at what the different governing bodies require for those family services for providing family and community engagements and home visitation. So in this course, we're going to talk about how we can support children, how we can support families, and how we will support children through their families. And we'll also talk about how communities we can support them as practitioners, and how communities can also support children and families. So there are several programs in Nebraska where young children ages birth through age 5 are served either in center-based programs or in their homes. And for each one, there are specific rules and regulations that go along with them. So most of you probably know that there's public school preschools in Nebraska, and those are governed by Rule 11. There's also Head Start, Early Head Start programs. Head Start is for children ages 3 and 4, and Early Head Start is for mothers prenatally and infants and toddlers, and those are governed by performance standards. Sixpence, which is unique to Nebraska, the Early Development Network, and of course there's a lot of other places where young children are served in Nebraska, private and public also. We probably won't be able to have time to go into all the myriad ways that young children are served in Nebraska, but just know that it is a large grouping of services and supports. So we're going to start by talking about public preschool in Nebraska. So public preschool in Nebraska is governed by Rule 11, which has been written by the Nebraska Department of Education, which is where public preschool derives their funding. The Rule 11 was newly revised in November 2015, and it spells out the requirements that public schools must follow if they want to administer a public preschool program in Nebraska. Now, some public preschools also partner with Head Start, educational service units, and other local educational agencies, but we're going to specifically look at how Rule 11 governs public preschools and how that tells public preschools how to support family involvement. So when you look at Rule 11, which is posted in the module, I want you to look for words such as family involvement, family engagement, and home visitation, and see where Rule 11 requires public preschools to administer those kinds of programs. So many of you probably know about Head Start and Early Head Start. Head Start is a large federally funded program for preschool children ages 3 and 4. In addition, they have recently, in the last decade or so, have started Early Head Start, which is for prenatal mothers and infants and toddlers. Now, Head Start, again, is a federally funded program, so there are federal rules and regulations that they go by, and those are called the Head Start Performance Standards. There's over 1,700 standards that these programs must follow. So it's a lot of learning for people who are new into Head Start. What I want you to look for when you look at the Head Start Performance and Standards are there specific sections actually on parent involvement, parent engagement, and community involvement and community engagement. And I want you to look through those specific sections to learn about how Head Start involves parents and communities in serving the needs of young children. Now, Sixpence is a unique to Nebraska program. It's an infant-toddler program, and their funds are derived from a combination of private funding with endowments, such as the Buffett Foundation. It's relatively new, and it has both home-based and center-based options. They also partner with Head Start and Early Head Start. For this module, you're going to look at their website and see what they talk about for involving families and communities. Lastly, we're going to look at the Early Development Network. This is early intervention services for families and children ages birth through age 3 with children with developmental delays and disabilities. Now, they're funded under a federal law, the Part C of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. So again, this is state-run but mandated by a federal law. And families are an essential member of the early intervention team. At this point, we're not going to look at the rules and regulations that govern Early Development Network, but we will talk about the Early Development Network throughout this course. So in Module 1, what you'll get to do is review the various public early childhood options in Nebraska and what they require in regards to family involvement and family engagement. However, what they require may not always match up with what we know is best practice. So in Modules 2 and 3, we will review what is best practice given research and wisdom of practitioners. So while you're looking through these requirements, I want you to consider the why behind these different sort of family involvement and home visitation processes. Why do you think that these regulations were written in these ways, and what are they trying to accomplish? So your to-do for this week is to review the set of regulations that are posted in Module 1. That'll be Rule 11 and the Head Start Performance Standards. And you're going to look for these keywords: family engagement, family involvement, community engagement, community involvement, home visits, etc., etc. I want you to keep in mind, as we move through the course, what you find in these rules and regulations. So as you learn what might be best practice, wisdom of the field, how does that match up with what is actually required by the programs that support the needs of young children in Nebraska? And what are they missing, or what could be added? Or maybe they're great and we don't need to do anything. So it's just something to think about as we move through this course. I hope you enjoy the first module, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.